The vast chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Zax Troll stepped forward. The young blue-skinned diplomat's 4 eyes blinked nervously at the 137 representatives of spacefaring species who watched from their curved seats. "I wish to understand," Zax Troll said, voice steady despite their fear. "Why do we maintain the Earth quarantine with such resources? They are primitive. Their ships barely reached their own moon." Elder Vreen rose slowly from the central podium. The ancient being's skin hung in loose folds, but their eyes remained sharp. "Come with me, young one." They walked through quiet hallways until they reached a secure chamber that required Vreen's 6-fingered hand and eye scan to enter. Inside was a simple viewing room with a single screen. "What you are about to see is restricted to council elders," Vreen said, "but perhaps it is time for the younger generation to understand." The screen lit up with images of a blue-green planet. "Humans weren't always dormant," Vreen explained. 2,000 years ago, they ventured briefly into space. For less than 1 standard decade, they interacted with the galactic community. Then, they mysteriously retreated to their homeworld and fell silent. The images shifted to show human ships, crude by current standards but somehow threatening in their angular design. During that brief period, they fought and won 3 interstellar wars against forces that outnumbered them 100 to 1. They developed in months technologies that took other species centuries. Zax Troll watched in disbelief as the screen showed human vessels tearing through enemy fleets with surprising ease. The Vrex Empire, which had conquered 17 systems, attacked Earth thinking it would be an easy victory. 6 Earth months later, the Vrex Empire no longer existed. "But how?" Zax Troll whispered. "Humans are." Vreen paused, searching for the right word. "Adaptable. Where we see boundaries, they see suggestions. Where we respect the impossible, they treat it as a personal challenge." The screen showed more images, humans working together, building, fighting, creating, always moving forward with unsettling speed. The Council did not quarantine Earth. Earth quarantined itself, Vreen said. They recognized something in themselves that frightened them. They built a defense network around their system and went silent. The Council merely enforces what humans themselves decided, that they were not ready for the stars. Zax Troll's 4 eyes blinked rapidly, processing this revelation. "So we fear them because they fear themselves." "We respect their wisdom," Vreen corrected. "And we obey the one rule that keeps the galaxy at peace." On the cargo ship Northern Star Captain Sam Winters stared at the radar display. The ship hummed around him as it carried supplies to the lunar mining colonies. "Captain, coffee's ready," said Olivia Grant, his first officer, placing a steaming cup beside him. "Thanks, Liv," Sam said, taking a grateful sip. "Quiet run this time." "Just the way I like it," Olivia replied, settling into her station. Her dark curly hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and her brown eyes scanned the redouts with practiced efficiency. From engineering, Pete Collins called up on the comm. "Captain, all systems running smooth. We'll reach Luna Base in 14 hours. "Copy that," Sam responded. Lisa Ward, their communications specialist, swiveled in her chair. "Message from Earth Control. Just the usual check-in." Sam nodded, leaning back in his captain's chair. The Northern Star wasn't fancy, a workhorse vessel that had seen better days, but she was reliable. Her crew of 12 had worked together for years, making the regular Earth-Moon supply run with a comfortable rhythm of experience. None of them knew they were about to become central players in breaking the galaxy's most important rule. The first indication came as a small anomaly on their sensors. Lissa noticed it first. "Captain, I'm picking up something strange near Saturn's rings," she said, frowning at her screen. Sam walked over to her station. "Probably ice displacement from the mining operations on Titan." "No, this is different," Lisa insisted. "The energy signature doesn't match anything in our database." As they watched, the anomaly grew more defined. The ship, but unlike any Earth vessel, was limping toward one of Saturn's moons. Are we seeing this right? Olivia asked, joining them. Get me a visual, Sam ordered. When the image appeared on screen, the bridge fell silent. The vessel was clearly damaged, venting some kind of plasma. Its design was elegant but alien, with curves and materials that no human engineer had ever used. Sam's hand hovered over the emergency alert button that would notify Earth defense. Captain Drelmack of the mining vessel Turcath paced the damaged bridge. His four-armed body moved with agitation, scales flashing warning colors of deep red and orange. The ship's main engine had failed catastrophically while passing the outer boundary of a system that every space traveler knew to avoid. Status report, he barked at his engineer. Main power at 20%. Life support stable but limited to 3 days. Hull breach on Deck 4 contained, the engineer replied, her tentacles working quickly over the control panel. Drelmack looked at the navigation display. The yellow star ahead of them was the one forbidden sun in the galaxy, Sol, home to the creatures that even the Council feared, humans. We need to repair and leave immediately, he told his crew of 15. The scanners show a small moon of the 6th planet has the minerals we need. His second-in-command, a tall, thin being named Lurvex, stepped closer. Captain, this is the Forbidden Zone. The quarantine will be the least of our problems if we die here, Drelmack interrupted. We take what we need and leave. Quick and quiet. No one will know. The Turcath limped toward Saturn, venting plasma and leaving a trail that no one should have been able to detect. But human technology had always been unpredictable. Aboard the Northern Star Pete Collins frowned at the engine readings. Captain, if we pursue this contact, we'll burn extra fuel. The lunar colony is expecting these supplies. Sam nodded, understanding the concern. Luna Base has enough reserves for another week. This is more important. More important than our jobs. Lisa asked. Protocol says we report unidentified objects to Earth defense and continue our mission. Protocol also says humans haven't seen aliens in 2,000 years, Olivia pointed out. Yet there's clearly a ship out there. Sam looked at each of his 3 senior crew members. I'm not asking you to follow me on this, but that ship is damaged. What if they need help? Pete sighed, running a hand through his short gray hair. Fine. But for the record, I think this is crazy. Sam smiled. Noted. Lisa, try to establish contact. For hours, Lisa broadcast simple greeting messages on all frequencies as the Northern Star adjusted course toward Saturn. The alien vessel showed no response but continued moving toward one of Saturn's smaller moons. They're landing, Olivia reported, watching the scanner. Or crashing. Take us in, Sam ordered. But maintain safe distance. The Northern Star approached the moon's surface where the alien ship had set down awkwardly. Through the viewports, they could see beings moving outside the craft, setting up equipment. They're mining, Pete observed through binoculars. Looks like they're gathering materials to repair their ship. So they're not invaders, Sam said. Just travelers in trouble. We should still report this, Lisa insisted, but her voice held less conviction now. After we make contact, Sam decided. Olivia, suit up with me. We're going to say hello. Drelmack spotted the approaching human vessel with horror. His worst fears were realized when the ship landed a safe distance away. His crew froze in their tasks, tools dropping from nerveless appendages. We've doomed ourselves, Lurvex whispered. They've found us. Remain calm, Drelmack ordered, though his own scales were now pale with fear. Perhaps they don't know the histories. They may be reasonable. Through his atmosphere suit's visor, he watched as 2 human figures emerged from their ship and began walking toward them across the moon's dusty surface. They moved with confident strides despite the low gravity. Activate defensive systems, he told his security officer quietly. But Captain, if we show aggression. Just a precaution, Drelmack said. Be ready for anything. The humans approached with their hands raised, an apparently universal gesture of peace. One was taller than the other, both walking with purposeful steps. Drelmac stepped forward to meet them, trying to recall the ancient protocols for first contact scenarios. Behind him, his nervous security officer hovered a finger over the defense grid controls. Just as the humans came within speaking range, the security officer's fingers slipped. The *Tricath's defensive pulse weapon fired automatically, sending a wave of energy toward the unsuspecting humans. The blast hit the Northern Star instead of the suited figures, disabling its systems in a flash of blue light. Both ships were now stranded. And deep within Earth's defense network, dormant systems detected the energy signature of a weapon firing near human personnel. The awakening had begun. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, lights flickered on for the first time in centuries. Silent machines hummed to life in perfect working order. In a vast chamber filled with thousands of hibernation pods, frost began to melt from their clear covers. Colonel Jack Ryan opened his eyes first, as he was programmed to do. His pod hissed open, and he inhaled fresh air with a deep breath. His mind cleared quickly as the wake-up drugs pumped through his system. Defense Protocol Alpha initiated, announced a calm female voice over the speakers. Level 1 personnel, please report to stations. Jack sat up, feeling surprisingly good for someone who had been asleep for. He checked the date display on his pod. Just over 2,000 years. Right on schedule, he murmured, swinging his legs over the side of the pod. Around him, hundreds of other pods were opening. Men and women in simple white medical suits began to sit up, looking alert despite their long sleep. They were soldiers, scientists, and leaders, Earth's defense force, preserved through the centuries for this exact moment. Jack stood and walked to a nearby wall panel. He pressed his palm against it, and the screen lit up, recognizing his prints despite the passage of time. Status report, he ordered. External threat detected in Saturn sector, the computer replied. Weapons discharge registered. Earth Defense Network activating worldwide. Across the planet, hidden facilities stirred to life. In the ocean depths, massive doors slid open on underwater bases. In remote deserts, sand shifted as launch platforms rose from underground bunkers. In orbit, satellites that had appeared dormant for millennia began transforming, panels opening to reveal weapon systems. Every screen on Earth, in homes, offices, public spaces, switched to a single message. External threat detected. Defense Protocol Alpha initiated. Please remain calm. This is not a drill. In a control room near Jack's hibernation chamber, Dr. Natalie Barnes was already reviewing data. Her dark skin contrasted with her white lab coat as she moved from screen to screen, checking systems. She had been one of the designers of the hibernation program before entering suspended animation herself. Colonel Ryan, she said as Jack entered. Good to see you again, or should I say finally. Doctor, he nodded, his tall frame still fit and strong despite the centuries of sleep. What are we looking at? She pointed to a display showing Saturn and a flashing alert. Something triggered the defense grid. Alien weapon signature detected, aimed at a human vessel. Casualties. Unknown. The system registered the ship as the Northern Star a cargo vessel. 12 crew members. The ship is disabled but intact. Life signs still registering. Jack frowned. And the alien presence. One ship, small, damaged before the incident, appears to be mining resources from one of Saturn's moons. Other military personnel filled the room, taking positions at various stations with practiced efficiency. Jack noticed they all moved with purpose, without the panic civilians might show. They had all volunteered for this duty, knowing they might wait thousands of years in the future to defend Earth. We knew this day would come, Jack said. That's why we went to sleep in the first place. Dr. Barnes nodded. The hibernation was always meant to be temporary. We stepped back from the galaxy to prepare, not to hide forever. A lieutenant approached Jack with a tablet. "Sir, President Shepard is awakening now. He's requesting your presence in the command center." "Tell him I'm on my way," Jack replied. He turned back to Dr. Barnes. "How many are we waking?" "Level 1 activation means 50,000 personnel worldwide," she said. "Military, scientific, and government leadership." Jack nodded, his blue eyes reflecting the light of the screens showing Earth's defense systems coming online, and the general population. "They're receiving basic information now. The education programs we put in place have prepared them for this possibility for generations." On screens around the room, they could see news feeds from around the world. People were gathering in public spaces, but there was no panic. Instead, there seemed to be a strange sense of anticipation, even excitement. "They don't seem afraid," Jack observed. "They're not," Dr. Barnes replied. "For 2,000 years, we've been telling our children that we have a destiny among the stars. That one day, we would return." Jack studied the faces in the crowds. They look ready. "Humanity has been waiting a long time for this alarm to sound," Dr. Barnes said. "That's the most dangerous thing about us, Colonel. We don't fear the unknown. We welcome it," Jack finished, heading for the door. "Let's go meet our visitors." The Galactic Council chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives shouted over each other as emergency alerts flashed on every screen. Elder Vreen stood at the center, trying to restore order. "The humans are awakening," cried the delegate from Proxima Centauri. "Our colonies are closest to Earth. We must evacuate immediately." "Deploy the defensive fleet," demanded another representative. Zax Troll watched in amazement as the most powerful beings in the galaxy descended into panic over a single planet of primitives. But the data streaming in told a different story. Earth's dormant defense systems were not primitive at all. "Silence," Elder Vreen finally shouted, his voice amplified by the chamber systems. "This is precisely the situation our ancestors feared. If we react with aggression, we guarantee our own destruction." The room quieted, all 400 eyes turning to the ancient leader. "We must establish diplomatic contact," Vreen continued. "Immediately, before misunderstanding leads to war." On Saturn's moon, Sam Winters and Olivia Grant picked themselves up from the dusty surface. The blast had knocked them down, but their suits protected them. "What happened?" Sam asked through his helmet comm. "They shot at us," Olivia replied, checking her suit for damage. "No," Sam said, pointing to their ship. "They shot at the Northern Star. Look." Their vessel's lights were dark. Through the viewports, they could see emergency lighting only. "Pete, Lisa, do you copy?" Sam called into his comm. After a moment of static, Pete's voice came through. "We're okay, Captain. But systems are fried. Whatever hit us was an EMP-type weapon." Sam turned to look at the alien craft. The beings were moving frantically now, clearly distressed. "I don't think they meant to fire on us," Sam said. "How do you know?" Olivia asked. "Look at them. They're terrified." In orbit around Earth, a fleet of ships emerged from hidden docks within the moon. They moved with precision, taking defensive positions throughout the solar system. Each was sleek, black, and armed with weapons that had been designed 2,000 years ago, but never tested in combat. In the command center beneath the Rocky Mountains, Colonel Ryan stood beside President Alan Shepard as they assessed the situation. The president was a tall man with gray hair and sharp eyes that missed nothing. "The alien vessel poses no immediate threat," Ryan reported. "It appears to be damaged and stranded." "And our people?" the president asked. "The Northern Star's crew is safe, but their ship is disabled. We're sending a recovery team now." A lieutenant approached with a tablet. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the Galactic Council." President Shepard raised an eyebrow. "So they do remember us." The main screen lit up with the image of Elder Vreen. The alien's ancient face showed concern but no fear. "People of Earth," Vreen began, "we wish to avoid conflict. The incursion into your space was accidental. The ship is a mining vessel that suffered damage and sought only materials for repair. President Shepard stepped forward. This is President Alan Shepard of Earth. We understand accidents happen. However, weapons were fired at our people. A tragic mistake, Vreen assured him. The crew panicked. They know only the old stories of humanity's power. President Shepard smiled slightly. Old stories. We request permission to send a diplomatic vessel, Vreen continued, to resolve this peacefully. The President looked at Colonel Ryan, who nodded. Permission granted, Shepard said, but approach slowly and follow all instructions from our defense forces. After the transmission ended, Colonel Ryan turned to the President. Do we trust them, sir? Trust is earned, Shepard replied. But we're not savages. We'll hear them out. On the moon of Saturn, a new ship appeared in the sky. It was Earth-made, larger than the asterisk Northern Star asterisk, and clearly military. A voice came through Sam's comm. This is the EDF vessel asterisk Horizon asterisk. Captain Winters, do you copy? I copy, Sam replied. What's going on? Earth defense has been activated, Captain. We're here to bring you and the aliens in for a little chat. Sam looked at Olivia, then at the frightened aliens nearby. Tell them we're coming peacefully, all of us. The alien captain, seeing the new human ship, made a gesture to his crew to stand down. There was no point in resistance now. Drelmac stepped forward to meet Sam. He activated his translation device. We meant no harm, the alien said, his voice trembling slightly. Sam nodded. I know, but you broke the one rule everyone seems to know but us. Never wake the humans, Drelmac replied sadly. Well, Sam said, looking up as the military vessel landed nearby. We're awake now. The Nevada Desert Facility had once been called Area 51. Now it served as Earth's first contact point with the galactic delegation. The massive hangar doors opened slowly as the alien shuttle descended from the clear blue sky. President Shepard stood at the front of the welcoming party, with Colonel Ryan slightly behind and to his right. Dr. Barnes waited nearby with a team of scientists. Sam, Olivia, Pete, and Lisa had been brought from Saturn to attend the meeting as witnesses to first contact. Nervous? Olivia whispered to Sam as they watched the elegant shuttle touch down. Curious, Sam replied. 2 days ago, we were hauling mining supplies. Now we're meeting aliens alongside the President. The shuttle's door slid open. First came guards with ceremonial weapons, followed by Elder Vreen, leaning slightly on a staff. Behind him walked the young diplomat Zax Troll, 4 eyes wide with barely contained excitement and fear. Welcome to Earth, President Shepard said, stepping forward with his hand extended in the human gesture of greeting. Vreen bowed slightly instead of taking the hand. We thank you for your restraint, Mr. President. The Council appreciates that you did not respond to the incident with military force. We are not barbarians, Shepard replied with a small smile. Please, follow me. They moved inside to a large conference room. Maps and screens covered the walls, showing Earth's defense network and the positions of ships throughout the solar system. The aliens noticed that humans made no attempt to hide their military capabilities. Once everyone was seated, President Shepard spoke first. Elder Vreen, I believe you owe us an explanation. Your council has maintained a quarantine around our system while telling the galaxy to fear us. Yet we have no memory of giving you reason for this fear. Vreen nodded slowly. The explanation is complex, but you deserve to know. He gestured to a device that Zax Troll placed on the table. It projected a 3-dimensional image of the galaxy. 2,000 years ago, humans developed faster than light travel independently. Vreen began. We know this, Colonel Ryan interrupted. It's in our history. What is not in your history, Vreen continued, is what happened next. Humans expanded rapidly, establishing contact with 12 species, including my own. Your technology was different from ours, not always more advanced, but innovative in ways we had never considered. The projection shifted to show human ships of ancient design. Then came the Vrex Empire, Vreen said, and the image changed to show menacing ships with sharp angles. They attacked a human colony without warning. We have no record of this, Dr. Barnes said, frowning, because what followed was deliberately removed from your historical archives. Vreen explained. Humanity's response to the Vrex attack was unprecedented. Within your Earth year, the entire Vrex civilization, 17 star systems, billions of individuals, was completely dismantled. Silence fell across the room. Dismantled? President Shepard asked carefully. Not destroyed. Vreen clarified. Humans did not commit genocide. Instead, you systematically disabled their military, reorganized their government, and integrated their people into a new system. The efficiency was terrifying. Sam looked at Olivia, both processing the idea that their species had once been so formidable. After defeating the Vrex, Vreen continued, humans were poised to become the dominant force in the galaxy. But instead, your leaders made a shocking announcement. Humanity recognized its own dangerous potential and decided to quarantine itself. We put ourselves to sleep, Colonel Ryan said, understanding dawning. Not out of fear of others, but fear of what we might become. Precisely. Vreen nodded. Your ancestors developed the hibernation technology and defense systems. They told the Council that humanity would return to the stars only when it had evolved past its more dangerous tendencies. Zax Troll spoke for the first time, voice filled with wonder. You are the only species in galactic history to recognize your own potential for dominance and voluntarily step back from it. President Shepard leaned forward. And now we've been awakened. Yes, Vreen said gravely. The question before us all is, are humans ready to rejoin the galactic community, or will you confirm our oldest fears? 3 days after the first meeting, the negotiations continued in the Sang, Nevada facility. The room was tense as Elder Vreen presented the Galactic Council's proposal. We suggest maintaining the quarantine, Vreen said. We will offer reparations for the accidental intrusion and enforce the boundary with greater care. Colonel Ryan's second-in-command, Major Ben Kelly, stood up abruptly. His face was flushed with anger. So you want us to go back to sleep, while the rest of the galaxy moves on without us? Major Kelly looked around the room at his fellow humans. We have the most advanced defense system in known space. Our ships can deploy throughout the solar system in minutes. And you want us to hide? President Shepard raised his hand for quiet. Major Kelly's view is shared by many, Elder Vreen. Now that we're awake, there is strong support for rejoining the galactic community. From the corner, Drelmak watched with interest. The newer captain had been invited to provide testimony about the accident that started everything. He stepped forward when President Shepard nodded to him. If I may speak, Drelmak said, his translation device converting his clicks and whistles to English. In the time humans have been absent, the galaxy has become peaceful, but also stagnant. Many technologies have remained unchanged for hundreds of years. There is little innovation. Dr. Barnes nodded and opened a file on her tablet. This matches our findings. We've analyzed the technology on Captain Drelmak's ship. Despite being 2,000 years more advanced than when we went into hibernation, the basic principles are unchanged. Pete Collins spoke up from where he sat with the Northern Star crew. We've already improved their engine efficiency by 30%. Took me about 6 hours. The alien delegates exchanged concerned looks. Zax Troll whispered to Elder Vreen, this is exactly what the old records described. Human adaptability is unmatched. President Shepard called for a brief break. As smaller groups formed around the room, Sam and Olivia found themselves speaking with Zax Troll. Why does everyone fear us so much? Olivia asked the young alien diplomat. We're not monsters. Zax Troll's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. It is not that you are cruel or evil. It is that you change everything you touch. Other species take generations to adapt to new situations. Humans do it in years or even days. Sam considered this. So it's not our weapons that frighten you. It's our ideas. Precisely. Zach Stroll nodded. A human solution to a problem is rarely the same as what any other species would devise. You see possibilities where we see only walls. When the meeting resumed, President Shepard announced that he had formed a committee to determine humanity's path forward. The committee included Sam, Olivia, and Lisa, along with representatives from various Earth nations. We need more than just military and political voices in this decision, Shepard explained. The crew of the Northern Star represents ordinary humans who will be affected by whatever we decide. Dr. Barnes presented her research next. During our hibernation period, we implemented careful genetic and cultural programs to reduce our more aggressive tendencies while preserving our creativity and adaptability. She displayed charts showing the changes over generations. Humans today are less violent, more cooperative, and more empathetic than our ancestors. We have evolved, as was the plan. Major Kelly frowned. We've grown soft, you mean? We've grown wise, Dr. Barnes corrected firmly. The committee deliberated through the night. Arguments flew back and forth about humanity's role in the galaxy. Some, like Major Kelly, pushed for rapid expansion. Others warned of repeating past mistakes. Finally, near dawn, they reached a decision. It was close, with Sam casting the deciding vote. President Shepard returned to the main conference room, where the alien delegation waited anxiously. The humans filed in looking tired but resolved. We have made our decision, President Shepard announced. Humanity will awaken fully and rejoin the galactic community. Elder Vreen's face fell, but Shepard raised his hand. Not as conquerors or even competitors, he continued, but as teachers, innovators, and protectors. We will share our knowledge and help advance the galaxy. In return, we ask for your wisdom to temper our enthusiasm. Vreen looked surprised. You wish to help us? It seems, Sam said from his place beside Olivia, that the galaxy could use a little human creativity. 1 year later, the stars were no longer forbidden to humanity. Earth ships ventured beyond the solar system, with careful planning and alien observers on board each vessel. The quarantine was lifted, but with new rules in place. The Northern Star had been completely rebuilt. What was once a simple cargo ship now served as Earth's primary diplomatic vessel. Its hull gleamed with new technology, a blend of human innovation and alien materials. On the observation deck, Sam Winters stood beside Olivia Grant, watching the approach to Centauri Prime, the first alien world they would visit officially. Nervous? Olivia asked, echoing her question from a year ago. Sam smiled. Curious. Always curious. Behind them, Lisa Ward worked with a team that included Zach Stroll, now the official council ambassador to Earth. They had developed new communication protocols that bridged the gap between human languages and the various alien methods of exchange. The Centauri are excited to welcome you, Zach Stroll said, joining Sam and Olivia at the viewport. They were among the first to support Earth's return to the stars. Not everyone was so welcoming, Olivia noted. Change is difficult, Zach Stroll replied, but undeniable. Already your people have improved faster than light drives by 40%. Energy efficiency on 17 worlds has doubled due to Pete Collins' engine modifications. Pete had remained on Earth, leading a joint human-alien engineering course. His team shared innovations while carefully avoiding military applications. The line between helpful technology and dangerous weapons was closely monitored by both human and alien overseers. Colonel Ryan and his forces had shifted their focus too. Instead of preparing for war, they now led emergency response teams, offering help to troubled worlds facing natural disasters or humanitarian crises. Their efficiency in these missions had already saved millions of lives across 3 star systems. On Earth, Dr. Barnes directed a cultural exchange program. Aliens visited Earth to study human art, music, literature, and history. Many were surprised to find that humans created simply for the joy of creation, a concept rare among other species. The Galactic Council had changed as well. At their most recent meeting, they had adopted a new primary rule: guide the humans as they guide us. It recognized both the potential danger and the immense benefits humanity brought to the galaxy. As the Northern Star entered orbit around Centauri Prime, Sam reflected on how quickly everything had changed. Just 1 year ago, he had been a simple cargo captain. Now he represented his entire species on a historic mission. "Captain," Lisa called from her station, "we're receiving welcome messages from the surface. They're inviting us to land at their capital city." "Acknowledge and accept," Sam replied. "Standard diplomatic protocols." Zax Troll's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of amusement Sam had learned to recognize. It is strange to hear humans speak of standard diplomatic protocols when a year ago you didn't know aliens existed. "We're quick learners," Olivia said with a smile. "That," Zax Troll replied, "is what terrified us for 2,000 years." In the Galactic Council chamber, Elder Vreen addressed a group of young diplomats from 17 species. The ancient being seemed more energetic than he had in decades. "The humans have proven us both right and wrong," Vreen told them. "Right to be cautious of their power, wrong to fear their intent." A young diplomat raised a tentacle. But the rule was broken. The humans were awakened. "And the galaxy is better for it," Vreen replied. "Sometimes rules exist only until we understand why we created them." The chamber's main screen showed the Northern Star landing on Centauri Prime, humans and aliens walking together down the ramp. "Watch and learn," Vreen said to his students. "The humans will change everything they touch, but change is not always destruction. Sometimes it is growth." On the screen, Sam Winters shook hands with the Centauri leader, one species that had evolved on a distant world reaching out to another that had evolved on Earth. Different in form, but alike in the most important way, both looking up at the stars with wonder. "The one rule now," Vreen said softly, "is to move forward together.